Myself PC Pandey, Tagore Public School, Surajgarh. As you know that online classes will be continued delivered by Tagore Public School. You see my videos regular and like, share and subscribe. Today I will tell you about the mathematical analysis of interference. Since we know that since we know that when two waves of same frequency, so it is clear that when two waves of same frequencies are superposed to each other, then the intensity of resultant wave at some point become maximum, at some point become minimum. This phenomena is known as interference. Let S is a light source. From this light source, we obtain two coherent sources, S1 and S2. When light from these sources S1 and S2 reach at the point P and superpose to each other, then according to principle of superposition, the displacement of resultant wave is the vector sum of displacement of these two light waves which reach at the point P. Let two light waves of same frequency traveling in same direction, having amplitudes A1 and A2 are superposed at the point at any point then according to principle of superposition of wave, principle of superposition of wave, superposition of the wave, the resultant displacement of the resultant displacement then according to principle of superposition of the wave, the resultant displacement is equal to sum of displacements of the individual wave if the displacement of the waves are given as y1 is equal a1 sin omega t and y2 is equal a2 sin omega t plus phi, where omega is angular frequency. The value of omega is equal to pi n, where n is frequency. So here we see that the frequency of both waves are same. Here phi is phase difference, I is phase difference between wave. A1 is the amplitude of first wave, A2 is the amplitude of second wave. Then according to superposition principle, according to superposition principle, the displacement of resultant wave, the displacement of the resultant wave is given as displacement of resultant wave is given as y is equal y1 plus y2, or y is equal, now putting the value of y1 and y2, so y is equal a1 sin omega t plus a2 sin omega t plus phi. This is equal a1 sin omega t plus a2 sin omega t. The expression of sin omega t plus phi is written as sin omega t cos phi plus cos omega t sin phi, or this can also be written as y is equal a1 sin omega t plus a2 sin omega t cos phi plus a2 cos omega t sin phi. Now this can be written as y is equal a1. When we take common from these two terms, then we find a1 plus A2 cos phi into sin omega t. Here we take sin omega t as a common, then this is written as A1 plus A2 cos phi into sin omega t plus A2 sin phi cos omega t. This equation is taken as equation number first. Here we see that A1 plus A2 cos phi, and here we see that A2 sin phi. So let us suppose A1 plus A2 cos phi is equal A cos theta. This is equation second, and A2 sin phi is considered as A sin theta. This is equation third. So taking A1 plus A2 cos phi equal to A cos theta and A2 sin phi is equal A sin theta. Putting these value in equation first. So from equation first we have, find out y is equal A cos theta sin omega t plus A sin theta cos omega t. Taking common in this two term A, so this is written as sin A into sin omega t cos theta plus cos omega t sin theta, and this matters in brackets is written as sin omega t plus phi. So y is equal A sin omega t, y is equal A sin omega t plus theta. This is equation 4. This equation 4 represents equation of a wave, and this is known as displacement of resultant wave. Here y is equal displacement of the resultant wave. Y is the displacement of the resultant wave, and capital A is the amplitude of the resultant wave. Y is displacement of resultant wave, and A is amplitude of the resultant wave. So from equation 4 it is clear that when two waves are superposed, then a wave is obtained, which is known as resultant wave. Now, for sake of simplicity, to finding the value of amplitude of resultant wave, Now we find out formula for the amplitude of resultant wave. Squaring and adding equation second and third on both sides. Squaring and adding equation first and second on both sides. A1 plus A2 cos phi square is equal A cos theta square and A2 sin phi square is equal A sin theta square. Squaring and adding both sides of equation first and second, or second and third, we get that here whole square of A1 plus A2 cos phi is equal A1 square plus A2 square, A1 square plus A2 square cos square phi plus 2A1 A2 cos phi plus A2 square sin square phi is equal A square cos square theta plus A square sin square theta. A1 square or A1 square plus, here we take common A2 square from these two terms, then we get A1 square plus A2 square into cos square phi plus sin square phi plus 2A1 A2 cos phi is equal, taking common A square from these two terms, A square into cos square theta plus sin square theta. And since we know that the value of cos square phi plus sin square phi is equal to 1, and similarly value of cos square theta plus sin square theta also become equal to 1. So this can be written as A1 square plus A2 square plus 2A1 A2 cos phi is equal A square, or this can be written as A square is equal A1 square plus A2 square plus 2A1 A2 cos phi. Taking under root on both sides, A is equal under root A1 square plus A2 square plus 2A1 A2 cos phi. This is formula for the amplitude of resultant wave, and this is known as equation 5. So here A is the amplitude of resultant wave. Now A is amplitude of the resultant wave. Now we find out expression for the intensity of resultant wave. Since we know that the square of intensity of a wave is directly proportional to square of the amplitude of the wave. From equation 5, we can write a square is equal a1 square plus a2 square plus 2a1 a2 cos phi. Since we know that the intensity of a wave is directly proportional to the square of its amplitude. Now multiplying on both sides by a constant k. So this become k into a1 square plus a2 square plus 2k a1 a2 cos phi. Or this can also written as ka square is equal ka1 square plus ka2 square plus 2 under root ka1 into under root ka2 cos phi, because since we know that under root k square is equal to k, since I proportional a square or I is equal k square, where I is the intensity of resultant wave and capital A is the amplitude of resultant wave. Similarly, the intensity of first wave is directly proportional to the amplitude of first square of the amplitude of first wave. I1 proportional a1 square or I1 is equal to ka1 square. Similarly, I2 proportional a2 square or I2 is equal to ka2 square. So here we can write on the place of ka square, that is I is equal I1 plus I2 plus 2 under root I1 under root I2 cos phi, and this is written as I is equal I1 plus I2 plus 2 under root I1 I2 cos phi. This is equation 6. Equation 6 represents intensity of the resultant wave. Here I is intensity of the resultant wave. So you can find amplitude of resultant wave and also intensity of resultant wave. Now we discuss about condition for constructive and destructive interference. Condition for constructive and destructive interference. First, condition for constructive interference. Since we know that in case of constructive interference, the amplitude and the intensity of the resultant wave become maximum. So from equation 5, from equation 5, the amplitude of resultant wave A is equal under root A1 square plus A2 square plus 2A1 A2 cos phi. If we put cos phi is equal 1, then we see that the value of amplitude of resultant wave become maximum. So putting cos phi is equal to plus 1, putting cos phi is equal 1, we get here we see that when you put on the place of cos phi is equal to plus 1, then the amplitude of the resultant will become maximum. That is, A maximum is equal A1 square plus A2 square plus 2A1 A2, and this can also be written as under root A1 plus A2 whole square, and this can be written as A maximum is equal A1 plus A2. So here we see that when cos phi is equal to plus 1, then the amplitude of resultant wave become maximum, and its value is equal to the sum of amplitudes of both waves. Similarly, from equation 6, from equation 6, the intensity of resultant wave I is equal I1 plus I2 plus 2 under root I1 I2 cos phi. If here we put on the place of cos phi is equal 1, then we see that the value of intensity of resultant wave become maximum when cos phi is equal plus 1, then intensity of resultant wave become maximum, and its value become I maximum is equal to I1 plus I2 plus 2 under root I1 I2, or this can be written as I maximum is equal under root I1 plus under root I2 whole square. This is the formula for intensity of resultant wave. Here we see that putting value of cos phi is equal 1, we find out that the amplitude and intensity of resultant wave become maximum since cos phi is equal plus 1, then phi is equal either 0, 2 pi, 4 pi, 6 pi, 8 pi, so forth so on, 2n pi, where n is equal 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or you can say that for cos 0 is equal 1, cos 2 pi is equal 1, cos 4 pi is equal 1. So we can say that if the phase difference between two waves either 0 or perfect integral multiple of 2 pi, then constructive interference phenomena hold. There is a relation since path difference is equal lambda by 2 pi into phase difference. That is, this can also done as x is equal lambda by 2 pi into phi. Here x is known as path difference between wave and phi is phase difference. So from this equation we find path difference between wave in case of constructive interference. When putting phi equal to 0, so path difference becomes 0. Putting phi equal to 2 pi, so path difference becomes lambda. Similarly, we can see that the path difference is often 0 lambda, 2 lambda, 3 lambda, 4 lambda, or so forth so on, and finally n lambda. This is the necessary condition for the constructive interference. So we can say that when phase difference between two waves is either 0 or perfect multiple of 2 pi, or path difference is 0 or perfect multiple of lambda, then constructive interference phenomena produce. In this condition, the amplitude and intensity of the resultant wave become maximum. If amplitude of both wave become same, that is, suppose this is A, so intensity also become equal, that is taken as I naught. So from equation 7 and 8, from equation 7 and 8, the amplitude of resultant wave become 2A and intensity of resultant wave is equal, here we put here under root I0 plus under root I0, this is equal to 2 under root I0, or this is equal to 4 I naught. Or we can say that if the amplitude of both waves are become equal, then intensity of wave also equal. So amplitude of resultant wave become twice of amplitude of any wave, and amplitude of resultant wave become twice of amplitude of any wave, and intensity become 4 times of intensity of any wave. Now we discuss about the destructive interference. Destructive interference. Condition for destructive interference. Destructive interference. Condition for destructive interference. Destructive interference. From equation 5, we know that A is equal under root A1 square plus A2 square plus 2A1 A2 cos phi. This is the equation of resultant wave. This is the equation of amplitude for resultant wave. If we put cos phi equal to -1, if cos phi is equal -1, then the amplitude of resultant wave become minimum, and this is equal under root A1 square plus A2 square minus 2A1 A2, and this can also be written as A1 minus A2 whole square, or this can be written as A1 minus A2 whole square. Similarly, I is equal I1 plus I2 plus 2 under root I1 I2 cos phi. If cos phi is equal plus 1, then I become maximum. that is equal I1 plus I2. Sorry, when you put cos phi is equal -1, then intensity become minimum, and this is equal I minimum is equal I1 plus I2 minus 2 under root I1 I2, or this can be written as I minimum is equal under root I1 minus under root I2 whole square. This is equation. This is the formula for minimum intensity in case of destructive interference. Here we see that putting the value of cos phi is equal -1, we see that if cos phi is equal -1, then the value of phi is become either pi or 3 pi, 5 pi, or so forth so on, 2n minus 1 pi. And when phase difference phi is equal pi, 3 pi, 5 pi, or 2n plus minus 1 pi, so path difference according to formula x is equal lambda by 2 pi into phi, we can write x is equal, when you have to put on the place of 5 pi, so we obtain lambda by 2, 3 lambda by 2, 5 lambda by 2, 7 lambda by 2, and so forth so on, 2n minus 1 lambda by 2. Or we can say that for constructive interference, the phase difference between wave is either pi or an odd integral multiple of pi, that is pi, 3 pi, 5 pi, or the path difference is either lambda by 2 or odd multiple of lambda by 2, then destructive interference phenomena hold. So from these equations 10 and 11, here we can write if A1 is equal, A2 is equal A, and I1, if the amplitude of both wave become same, so intensity of the wave also becomes same. So from equation 10 and 11, we find out that the amplitude of minimum wave, the amplitude of resultant wave become minimum, and this is equal to 0, and intensity of the resultant wave become also minimum, and this is also equal to 0, because when we put here under root I1 equal to I naught, and also we write on the place of under root I2 equal to I naught, so we see that amplitude and intensity both become 0. So we find the necessary condition for constructive interference when phase difference between both wave is become either 0 or perfect multiple of perfect integral multiple of 2 pi, or phase difference is path difference is either 0 or perfect multiple of lambda, then constructive interference phenomena produce, and in case of constructive interference the amplitude and intensity of resultant will become maximum. And when phase difference between two wave is either pi or odd multiple of pi, or path difference is become lambda by 2 or odd multiple of lambda by 2, then destructive interference phenomena produce, and in case of destructive interference the amplitude and intensity of the resultant will become minimum. Thank you.